Are we live? Are we live?
We love.
We're live, man. What's up, James,
What's
man?
up? What's up, dude?
Man, what are we gonna be bringing to the people today?
Man, I've been on the Google machine here, and
Oh
man,
shit,
what I'm looking at is just how crazy our country and this world has become about gender pronouns, what's considered sexual or sexist language, and what's
Mm.
not. Dude, these people are out of their fucking minds.
Bro. This is a touchy topic because it's
Oh,
just how,
I know it's fucking
dude. I mean,
crazy.
honestly, like just to be blunt with y'all, I mean, just being like straight up who I am. I'm not gonna fake anything. Like America is becoming a big
Bitch
pussy.
made.
Like it's just becoming like everything's so offensive, bro.
Oh my god, man! I know it's
Like
it's
there's
madness.
so many things like you can't talk about. You can't say this because it offends that person because they got their nuts chopped off or they identify as a woman, so don't say this. Like you chose that, you take the consequences.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you don't have to be mean to them. Or I'm not being mean to anybody. I'm just
Yeah,
calling you a dude or a chick, and that's it. Like, get over it. You know what I'm
dude. I
saying?
mean, do you have nuts?
If you come at me on some drama about some, that's not what I identify as. You might just catch a backhand to the dome. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. You better stay out of my space
I mean,
because
dude.
man, it's getting out of hand, man. And I
I
can
mean,
understand like there's people that are confused or they may have a mental disorder or things like that, dude. But come on,
dude. This is the qualifications I have. Okay. Oh God, dude. There's so much to talk about. We're gonna try to keep it.
I'm gonna tell y'all this first. I'm a 26-year-old man. I've been a man for 26 years,
Yeah,
baby boy. So I know what I'm talking about. I know how it feels to be a man,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
my qualifications to talk about being a man.
yeah. And so, um. I feel like a majority of this population that decides that they want to become I'm not even talking about bisexual, homosexual, none of that shit. That's,
Yeah, because
if you're gay, you're
yeah,
gay.
that's different though. That's sexual orientation. That's not
Yeah.
gender. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm,
They're either
no.
gay or they're bi or they're straight or whatever. I'm cool with all that. Like, be whatever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Just don't bring it in my
And
yard.
one
Be
thing I
be
want
be
to get,
you. I ain't
yeah,
hating.
one thing I want to get across is that I do not dislike gay people. I do not think gay people should be deported off the earth. I mean, I've grown
Yeah,
a lot as a guy that's, aged and went through a lot of stuff. So, as far as what you're interested in, as far as male or female, that is on you. Of
yeah,
course, I don't want to be out in public and see some guy dressed as this really girly woman that believes he's a girl
yeah.
groping on another man.
I'm not down with the whole. You know what I'm saying? Flamer thing. Just because you're gay,
Yeah,
don't mean you have to change your
you're
voice
still a
27
man.
octave higher. You can
Yeah.
be, you know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of powerful gay men in history. Caesar, gay as hell. Alexander the Great, gay as hell. But
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of
don't try
successful
to.
people.
That's what I'm saying. But you ain't gotta be. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to change your voice up 27 octaves and be like the super fag. And yeah, I said the word fag, and I don't mean that in a derogatory
Yeah.
thing. I'm just saying it in that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. I'm not going. What word am I looking for? I'm not going to censor myself. Like we're gonna keep it real out here. I'm
Yeah.
not hating on you for being gay. I'm just using that word because it's a word in common usage. And if your skin is that thin, you need to become
Well,
more of a
this is the
human.
thing. Whenever
But
you decided to take the leap of I'm gonna come out the closet and I'm gonna be gay and I don't care because whenever people become gay, they adapt the mindset of I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm taking this action. Well, if you don't care what anybody thinks, you should not be having uh um any kind of problem of hearing the term fag. Like you shouldn't make this
yeah,
some
whatever.
public
And I
line
know, and I,
news.
and I know it's a derogatory term and all that, but
Yeah, and
most
it's
of the time,
negative,
people
but
who say it aren't using it in that connotation. Like it
yeah.
just is the same thing. Somebody being like, oh, don't do that. That's gay. Like talking about something that's feminine or something. Like, yeah, it's just get over it. Get some
Look,
thicker
and I
skin.
suggest, okay, there is a song by Tom McDonald. Like I don't, I'm not really heavy into rap, but this guy is on like some super realism and just go check out some of his stuff. But he talks about, he has a quote in there that says, and gay people hate me because when I see something I don't like, I say that it's gay. That like hits so deep because it's literally like you don't mean anything by it. It's just
Oh
like
no.
a
Like I said, like
dude.
that's what I said. If you're gay, be gay. I don't
Yeah,
care. It's all good. But all I'm saying is, you don't have to be a super flamer to be gay. You could be a regular dude and be gay, and
dude,
not
I
have
have
to do
met.
all. You don't have to. You don't have to wear makeup and
Yeah,
weird stuff just because you're gay. I mean, do you? I'm just saying that it ain't got to be like that. Like that's all I'm saying. But
dude, and
as
let me
far
tell you something. I've met some gay dudes that I was like, dude, there's this guy named Daniel. He's a friend of my girlfriend. He's a friend of their family. I met this dude, shook his hand. This dude didn't act, he didn't come off gay. Because he was a man. This is the thing. He is a man that is just interested in other men. So he shook my hand like a man, and we had a manly conversation, and we just talked about man shit. And I never got the vibe, and me and that dude are cool. Like, I would go hang out with that dude because I knew he would never try no shit on me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But anyways, man, that was just kind of where we got off on the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
sexual orientation thing. But as far as the gender stuff goes, like, man,
It's just getting too much, man.
dude, it's crazy,
I want to run
bro.
through some of the genders.
There's, yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
list some of them off for me.
Okay. All right. We're just gonna start off with your typical. You got binary, and
What does
that's
that
the
mean?
binary is the genders at each end of the gender spectrum, male and female. So I guess that's pretty normal. Then you
Okay,
have, but then
well,
you have
technically
non.
there are only two, so
Yeah,
you either
it's it
have
each.
you're a
Yeah,
chick or a dude.
yeah. I know, I
That's
know.
it. Now continue.
Okay, then you have non-binary, and this is it's an umbrella term for genders that fall somewhere in the middle of the gender spectrum. But they don't really know
But
if they have a
actually,
penis or a vagina. It's somewhere
see,
in the middle.
this is the thing though. There is no middle. There is
I
one
know,
side
dude.
or the other.
I
There
mean,
is
okay,
no.
there is exceptions, but people that like weren't born with a body part,
Yeah,
or
I get
they were
that.
born with
I get.
two.
Yeah, I get that.
That's acceptable.
I
So this
get
can be
that. Somebody
used
that were
as a
born.
gender identification without further explanation. Sometimes, sometimes the
Don't
term
get too cracked though. Now go on.
gender queer is used. Sometimes the term you might be called a gender queer.
What does that mean?
Uh, but it's somebody that they don't identify as a male or female. They just fall in the middle. I don't really know. I don't even think they know what they are, to be honest with you. I think they
And see,
just.
that's what blows my mind is the
I
fact
know.
that the internet, that there's a literal article, that there's a person, whether male or female, who has written an article
An
that's
educated person
and a person who has probably gone to college and gotten a degree,
and learned about
literally,
it.
yeah, and learned about it, knows has, I guarantee you, has taken a basic biology class throughout some point in their life,
Hopefully.
and anatomy, and literally is going to write an article that says, yeah, these people fall somewhere in the middle. What middle? There's not
Yeah.
one. There's one side or the other. You're either a dude or you're a chick. There is no middle. There is no
Yeah.
gap. There is no falling in between. That doesn't exist.
And real quick, if you are watching this and you happen to be a non-binary person, uh, just know this is our opinion, and
Yeah,
like if you're offended
I
by
don't,
that,
I don't hate you. I don't
no,
hate
I just
anyone.
don't understand you.
Well, I don't know. There's a few Auburn fans that are an exception, but I don't hate many people,
Yeah,
and
and
I don't hate somebody for things like that. But this is our opinion, and you're a fucking moron. So
yeah.
that's all I'm saying is
I
like,
want so okay, here's another thing. If you are somebody that identifies as a non-binary person, and you want to get your opinion out there, schedule a Skype interview with me and James, and we would love to have a
yeah,
conversation with you.
I'm not gonna diss you, but
No,
I
yeah.
really want to hear your points because I, I truly don't understand.
How many thousands of years has it always been male and female, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
all these other genders were created by the internet.
bro,
Like,
2040. Do you know what this world's gonna be like?
bro,
Oh
there's
God.
God, dude.
Let me get into the next one. One that I've heard, and I've heard this before, and I went over it, but it's one that I hate more than any, and it's called gender fluid.
What the
Gender
fuck does
fluid.
that mean?
Gender fluid means a specific. I don't really want to call it a male or female. I might offend some people out there, but it's a person, human being that moves between genders and fluctuates between gender identity. So
How is that
today,
possible? You either have a dick
yeah,
or vagina. There is no,
I
you
mean, that's
can't
what
swap back and forth willy nilly. No pun
I mean.
intended.
What I mean, dude. What do you? I just want to know what do you have between your legs? If you okay, if you cut your penis off and you identify as a woman, but you say you're gender fluid, no, sir, you're transsexual. You're not.
Well,
You're just
and at the same time though,
you're still a man
ju-
though.
just because you cut your dick off doesn't mean you're a chick.
Okay, look,
Like,
here's a
and
good.
you can construct a vagina, but guess what? You still don't have ovaries. Like
Yeah,
I don't care how much freaking estrogen you take, you're not gonna grow a baby maker inside of your freaking body, and
bro.
that's science, buddy. That's
Yeah,
science.
it's
I'm
not.
out here. I'm out here reading these books, son, and that's
Yeah,
science.
it's something you was taught as a fucking kid. God, dude. But this is the thing. Ah, man. So
I don't want to reiterate. We're not hating anybody.
no, no,
Like we're
no. I'm
not
just.
attacking people. We
We're
are
just bringing awareness.
we're bringing awareness to the pure idiotic nature of today's world
And all of this
that
message,
lacks basic fundamentals and common sense.
this is the message that I want to put off in this podcast. This is it. Just think about the future of your children and what the rest of the world's going to be
Yeah.
if you keep
Because
making
I
all this
promise
shit.
you, if you raise some kid to be non-binary, my kids are gonna whoop their
Oh, and
ass.
it's gonna your kid's gonna get picked on because you're
Yeah.
still gonna have these people from the South that grew up like I did.
It
That
ain't even the South. It's just
well, yeah,
people.
I mean, yeah, just in
We are.
America or whatever.
It's just people who grew up in an area where they use common sense and they
Yeah.
don't put up with no PC bullshit.
If you,
And
this is the way I think of it. If you're a dude, you come up to me and say, I'm like, what's up, man? Oh, I'm not a man. I actually had my penis removed when I was 23. Oh, you're just a dude that got his dick cut off.
yeah, you're
I
just a
mean,
dude.
I'm
Literally
just that
got
blunt.
your
You're just,
you're just a dude who got it chopped off. Like you're still a dude. Your
y'all,
brain is still a
stop
dude.
overcomplicating it, y'all.
Yeah, it's
Y'all are making depression. Y'all are making,
mental disorders, making
yes.
problems in general. Like, man,
Not
this
only are you doing that, but you're
like
doing it for
atmosphere.
yourself.
It's not to mention, like, man, these kids are reading these articles and they believe this bullshit. And even though they don't realize they're just depressed or they're just confused, and you know, but you're making them think that they're this, and this, and man, they're leaning into that shit and believing it because as much as we know, you don't believe what you hear on the news or on the internet. People are vulnerable. People who are looking for answers believe in things, wholeheartedly, even though they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And there's just like there's so many. Have you heard, like, I can't remember what the statistic is. I'm fixing to try to pull it up real quick if I can find it. Um, the the suicide rate for people who are transgender is like
Oh, I
people who
mean,
actually get this, or yeah, people who actually get the surgery or whatever.
yeah,
Uh,
transsexual.
yeah, transsexual is, and the people who start taking estrogen and stuff like that, dude, it's crazy high.
I mean,
Like,
you're making yourself something you're not. I mean, what do you think? Like, and I know this is a positive podcast and this is positivity that we feed, but at the same time, you got to spread awareness so that it stays positive and the world don't go to shit. And you got people that just offhand, agender, bigender, polygender, gender fluid, you got anagyne or whatever you call it. I mean, okay, dude. So, and there's the thing is, all these fall together. So, like somebody that identifies as agender, like that's pretty much the same thing for non-binary, because agender people, not identifying with any gender, sometimes referred to as genderless. They're nothing. They're nothing. These people are okay. So if somebody tells me you're agender, I'm just thinking, man, you wasn't born with anything, huh? You didn't born with a vagina or a penis, and your organs, it's all backwards in you, and that's a defective, part,
yeah, and
not a
see,
labeling part.
I just pulled up a little article here on like suicide rate and stuff like that. Like it says something like the suicide rate is like 50% higher. This may be wrong, but I might find another article that says somewhere
Yeah.
50% higher amongst transsexual people or trans people in general but it talks about like um, because of discrimination, bullying, violence, being rejected by family and friends, and all that kind of stuff. But that's the thing is like when you have this internet and this PC culture age and this, you know, where
Bullying's
people are
not gonna
doing
go away.
well, people are doing all this stuff, and you're telling me that there's a lot of people who are trying to raise their kids as non-binary and all this stuff. Look what it leads to. When the confusion you create in a child's mind or a young person's mind
Yeah.
are 50% more likely to commit suicide just because you wanted to push your liberal bullshit on them and create
Tell them
a
they can be whatever
doubt
they
and
want.
will just creating a doubt in their mind and not teaching them what's right and wrong as when it comes to it. And you're creating a scenario in which they may be victimized, they may be discriminated against. You're telling me you're willing to put them through that just because it's your idiotic opinion? Like you
Yeah,
can't,
I mean,
like people who are, and that's the thing. You're creating an avenue there for more violence, more bullying, more victimization. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody should be bullied for anything. Whether it's them being gay or trans or small or fat or whatever. But that's me. The human race will never be perfect. Bullying will
mhm.
never go away. It's no different than in animals, them picking on smaller ones. There's a little bit of biological code in there where it's the strongest survive, and
Yeah.
by creating weakness and creating something different, you're creating a target. Because unfortunately young kids that don't understand what they're doing and how their words and how things they do affect people are naturally going to bully people who are different. So you're literally creating a problem that could lead to your child or someone depression, anxiety, or suicide. And I think that that is absolutely horrendous.
And if you so this is something this is just a thought I like to put in everybody's head. And everybody I ask this question, they're hesitant on it. But let's say you're all for non-binary, you're all for agender, you're all for gender fluid. Okay, so you're fine. You're telling me this is what whenever you say you agree with that, this is what you're telling me. You're fine with a grown ass man going in the woman's bathroom with your daughter that's 6 years old. Like you're telling me that's okay because that's gonna happen because they identify as non-binary, and eventually it's gonna get to where the he identifies as a woman, so he can go in the woman's bathroom. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me to know that you're willing to put the risk of your little girl or little boy
Mm-hmm.
uh that is he has no knowledge, he's learning as he's growing, and all he knows is he sees this girl that looks like a woman or looks like a man, and dude, you're just putting yourself at a risk that
Yeah, you're just creating problems that shouldn't be there. If you
yeah.
went with the way things are supposed to be, then it's all. I feel like all this stuff is just created by people that want to be different so badly that they have to create problems that don't even
Fuck, it's
exist.
cool to be different. I'm different.
Yeah, but they create problems that don't even exist.
Why don't you make a
Like,
difference between in the world? Why do you got to make it the fucking difference between yourself? Who gives a fuck about you? Like, make a difference in something, not your fucking dick that you cut off. Ah, dude, it's shit.
I don't know, man. And one of the funniest things about all this to me is the weakness and the thin skinness of
Oh my
the
god, like you can't even save a man.
like we talked about the I put up an article here. This is by a college. This is the University of Pittsburgh, gsws.pitt.edu, and it's gender inclusive guidelines. This is how crazy people are and how they're getting called sexist for certain things like language to use humankind, language not to use mankind. What? Use chairperson or chair, don't use chairman. Use first year student, not freshman. Use firefighter, not fireman. Use police officer, not policeman. Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude,
Who cares? Who cares?
so I read that article a while back, and what was funny is it wasn't. I don't know if it was that exact article, but the funniest one was when this dude. I actually made this video. I made this of a video on another channel, but this dude said, "Okay, so What about Manhattan of New York? This chick said, we should take out the word man. And he said, well, what do you want to put instead of man? She froze. She didn't know what the hell. I mean, what are you going, person Hatton? I mean,
And
it
that's
wasn't
the
just,
thing, bro, is the word mankind. When you refer to people, you refer to as man. It just so happens that we refer to, the male sex as man.
yeah.
And God, dude. And one of the funniest things right here is the whole Z, Zim, Zer, Zers,
What
Zerself.
exactly is that? Is that like
Dude,
a
I haven't
noun?
figured it. I haven't figured it out yet. But all I know is I want to choke slam whoever created that word. And here's an example of a sentence. I'm sorry. Hold on. They taught. Let's see. They taught theirself to play the guitar. What the fuck
What?
does that even
Whoever wrote that
mean?
article, I want to chop off their toe and slingshot it down their throat.
I swear to God, bro. This is oh my
They
God.
are screwing kids up in the head.
This is hell.
Zay, that's like
Man,
French.
man, I don't know what it is.
Zephon?
But I'll tell you this, I just don't understand it. I really don't, and I'm not trying to. I'm not breeding
We're not
hate
discriminating.
here. We're not discriminating, and we're not breeding hate here. We're just pointing out how ignorant and how stupid today's world is. Like
This is what, oh,
this
man.
is one of the humongous problems in America. It's just all this bullshit. Why can we not all just use common sense, common phrases, and be adults about things and not scream every time we don't get our way and create new words to describe ourselves?
Bro, what the
And
fuck is AFAB? You know what this means? You were
never heard of
assigned female at birth.
what the fuck does that mean?
You were, I mean, it either goes two ways. Either the mom said, I want him to be a
Wait, are
female.
you actually a girl or are you just called a
Yeah, I
girl?
don't know. But that's other, there's, I don't know. I mean, there's 58 types of genders, bro.
What? No, there's not. There's two.
Gotcha.
Numero dos.
You've been sleeping on them, man.
Dude, I swear, man, they
You've
must
been
be
out here
out.
sleeping. They've been making genders.
Dude, I swear, bro, they done made more of them since I looked the
Hey,
other
hey, hey,
day.
here we go. Bro, this should be all these 58 genders should be summed up in this one. Novi gender. It is a gender that is super complex and impossible to describe in a single term.
Oh, yep, that's everything that's not a
How
male
can
or
you make that a
female.
gender? I'm a Novi gender. It's just way too much for you to understand, so I'm
that's
just a
what
Novi
Caitlyn
gender.
Jenner is, dog. Caitlyn Jenner's one of them.
She's a Novi. Novi squad?
Bro, that's one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen. A world class Olympic athlete man becomes a woman. That is
Yeah,
the
that was wild.
craziest shit ever. Like you were the pride, one of the prides of America, and then you just freaking shit all over it. Oh my god.
Just I'm sorry, guys. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Dude, you
You
know
know,
that.
this is what I don't understand, bro. Like, and what's crazy is most of the time, in most cases, I'm pretty sure it's guys becoming girls. It's not girls becoming guys because you
That's just a
can't just
butch.
they can't create like a real dick.
I
They
don't
can't.
know, bro. I don't
They
even
they
know.
can't
Like,
really do it.
I mean, I don't.
Not where it's right. I mean, what do they
I
have
mean,
like
yeah, they can't.
what do they have like a bionic dick?
I don't know if they like sew on a dead person's bro.
Cause
Like,
like you know what I'm saying, dude? Cause I mean, if they can, I ain't complaining, but you know what I'm saying, your boy, I'll take a few extra inches. I mean, it's whatever, dude. If they trying
bro.
to get out there, if they making them things right, but if that
Right,
thing's
if they trying
bionic,
to change the size of this small soft, I mean,
dude, that's all I'm saying, bro. And like, if they making them things bionic, dude, I don't want
I
no
need
part
one of
of
them jokers. I need
it.
one of them. Boy. Sometimes that thing just ain't getting to the level it needs to get.
bro. That's when you hit one of them. You know, that's when you take one of them African Viagra's
She's like, oh my
from the
god,
Arab gas station, boy.
you just let a kickstand out.
I swear, bro. Your dago, I swear it feels like your dick's ice cold. That thing's been hard for about
Dude, I've
4
never used
hours,
it. I want
and
to try one day.
you're running around in circles sweating.
I want to try it one day. I think my old lady just be like, "You got to give me a break. We've been doing this for 19 hours, and I got to go to sleep. That thing
I
won't
think
go down. It's like a
I
weight
think
on
I'm
your pillow.
dead.
It's like a
I
woke
swear,
gorilla that won't
bro.
go to bed."
I've been out there, dude. But there's some wild stuff going on out here these days, man. This
Diet.
whole this whole do what?
I want you to just see what you think about this. Diadic is someone who is not intersex, and when their genitals and chromosomes can all match into either a male or female category.
But what were they born with?
uh, Someone who is not intersex, and when their genitals
That
and
doesn't. I don't understand. What does that mean? I mean, forgive my ignorance there. I don't understand what
so they're saying
intersect.
that their chromosomes can match in a male chromosome category or a female. Okay, that's some
I
kind of
don't
point
believe
born
that.
with some kind of. I feel like that's the times where,
We have a Y chromosome. They don't. I believe. I think that's right.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
what is this? You're confusing me.
I don't
It's
know, bro.
it's just man, it's just getting to where does it stop? This is my question. This is the
Yeah,
main goal.
that's exactly right. Where does it end?
I mean, honestly, like
What happens? Where do we go
instead of
from
if you're
here?
watching this and you're fired up and you're like, oh, these sexists, these Democrats, these fucking or Republicans are these people that, instead of being fired up, how about you sit back and you actually think, where does it
Yeah.
stop?
Where
Where
does it
does it?
stop? Where does it
Okay,
go? Where does it
started
go
off
from
with
here?
two genders. Now we
And
got
not to
58.
mention, pick up your anatomy book, the
Yeah,
one
just
that you got in 8th grade, and
pick up the
flip to the
Bible.
pick up to the human. I mean, I'm not even gonna say pick up the Bible
I'm
because
not talking about
there's
from a
so many
religious point of view.
there's so many different religions. I can't go there, but I can say that you can pick up a basic anatomy book from 8th grade and it'll show you which two genders exist.
I mean, I
That's all
remember
I'm
being in,
saying.
dude. All I'm saying is I remember
Your gender
being.
ain't. All I'm saying is your gender ain't in your mind. It's what your body is.
Well, nowadays it's becoming to where it's in their mind, and they got to get that out, man. They gotta.
I
I
think
just want
this
to.
is. I think it's just people confused, man. It's people who they have some kind of confusion and I'm not saying that these people are bad people, like in
No,
any way, shape, or form, because I don't think they're bad. I think mankind
you
is
watch that
is
person
in
kind.
yeah. I better watch that.
Yeah.
Person kind is inherently good. I think people are inherently good and they want to be
Mm-hmm.
good,
Yeah.
but but uh, those people, I don't think they're probably good people, but they're just confused.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, it doesn't
confused. Something
classify
has
you as.
happened. They've had some kind of trauma. They've had some kind of issue, and they're learning like, oh, well, I can deal with this issue because these people tell me I can do this and deal with this issue. They're finding ways to avoid their problem or their trauma or whatever it is that's causing them issues when there's healthier ways to deal with things. I think a lot of it is a way to cope, and there's different ways to handle whatever this is. And man, I truly like I I can't wait till they come out with like more in-depth research on this whole thing. Like maybe they study people who claim to be this and that or whatever. They study their brain waves, they study their DNA and all that stuff, and we
Yeah.
can find out some true things. Like, is there really something different going on in their mind than
Yeah.
we are? Like, than goes on in ours, or are they just confused? I would be truly interested to hear from a doctor or scientist, anybody in the research field who can give me a legitimate, answer and bring me out some graphs and testimonials showing me something's different
And
about them.
something else I've asked people of this. So
Because, go ahead.
this is a question I asked a buddy of mine, his wife. I asked her, and she was saying how non-binary people can't help it; they're born that way. Okay. Now let's just say they're born that way, and it's okay because they're born that way, right? Well, as a pedophile, it's okay because he's born that way, right? I mean, he can't help it. He was born the way he is, just like the
Yeah,
non-binary person.
exactly. And dude, that's a totally different topic, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
but
mean, but
but at the same time, dude, you're right because there's people out there that try to claim that you know pedophilia is a disease. Pedophilia can't be helped, and okay,
yeah,
but that still doesn't mean that
is it
I won't
okay?
execute him in my front yard if he comes near my
Yeah,
child.
yeah,
Like I'm sorry. Like
yeah.
it's that's just how it is, and that's the thing about people who are pedophiles, man. The even when they get caught and go to prison or whatever, they
Still get their head whooped.
their repeat offender uh percentage is so much higher than most other crimes. It's way higher.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you got to live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I'd like somebody to give me a percentage on that so I can verify that. But from what I've read before, their percentage for being a repeat offender and finding another child um, is much higher than other areas of crime. Um, and that's something who knows, man. Maybe like that would be as much as I'm against like the whole geocoding thing or whatever they call it, where
Mm-hmm.
you can pick which genes a kid has, and pretty much making test tube babies, and canceling out genes and stuff. As much as I'm against that because I believe in the universe and God being able to being the deciding factor on what happens. If they could eliminate the pedophilia gene or anything like that, I might be more, uh, inclined to, be more into it because if they could eliminate things from people like pedophilia and rapists and stuff like that, then
Yeah, I mean, it just
uh,
needs to stick to how rapists, pedophiles are bad. You're a man and you're a woman. If you cut your penis off, you're still a man. You're a dude that got his penis cut off. Uh,
I just wish we used more common sense, man. And like I
I mean, I
said,
just wish people stepped back and looked at what's this world. Not only think about how different you're gonna be, or if you want to stick out of your stick of, you was not very popular growing up, and you just need a change. You need a catastrophic something to happen so you can feel important. I just wish they took the time instead of thinking about it like that, think of like, what can I do to change the world? Or what can I do to I don't think me classifying or making this gender as non-binary is going to help this world or kids that grow up questioning, am I supposed to be non-binary? My mom is non-binary. What
yeah,
happens whenever the half the population is non-binary? Or what happens when half the I'm not even gonna go there. But I mean, it's got to get to a point where you realize that dude,
where does it end? Where does
yeah,
it end?
where does it end? That's been my question since day one when I heard all these genders. Where would it stop? Because people nowadays can literally classify as like a line.
Yeah,
What?
or a dog,
Is
or
this Grand Theft Auto? Is this? Well, I mean, what? Are you picking your character? This is
yeah,
becoming a video game, dude.
yeah. It's crazy, man, and God, there's just so much confusion, and like you've heard me say a billion times with other things, whether it's with stress, anxiety, or depression, or school function and all that kind of stuff, man. I think a lot of this demon starts with social media, man.
Yeah, man.
A lot of the internet and social media, dude, is absolutely it's creating
A monster.
very very big issues and things that we don't even know how to handle. Like things
Yeah.
that as a people and as a profession, like whether it's whatever it is, there's no we don't even know how to treat the monster that we're creating yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's and I don't want anyone to think like I promote love and positivity. Like I promote that with everything behind my heart. So me saying this stuff and us talking about it is just our opinion. And like
Yeah,
just because
and
you
that's
promote
just and
positivity
it's
and
not
love,
because yeah, we're not wanting to trash people. We're just trying to bring a way about which the world could function better and things go a lot smoother and there be
yeah,
less violence, less depression. We're all about bringing positive vibes and just creating a world that's more positive for everybody and makes more sense. If you look at things in life and the world, if you just use common sense when you do them, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's no different than the memes you see about, like, how to be an adult. Pay your bills on time, don't smoke crack,
right, right,
and, try to be a nice person. It's that easy. Like,
yeah.
if everybody approached everything in life with the simplistic attitude like that, people would be happier, people would be less depressed, there would be less confusion, and I think the world would just be a better place.
Man, if there's anything you take from this podcast, all I want you to take is, man, dude, these two guys are really they're just giving their opinion and trying to open up eyes so that the world gets better and all this confusion rate slows down and kids aren't confused and just open up the eyes of a lot of people and we promote positivity and love and like I said it's just our opinion on how we can spread more positivity and keep the world growing instead of bogging it down and it's just I just want y'all to know that I stand behind positivity and yeah I do love people, majority of people. Of course I don't love a pedophile, but yeah, it's it's
Yep,
something
and
that
I agree, man. It's just I'm I appreciate all people and I hope that we can come to a place where we can all get along and the world's a more positive place to live in.
yeah. And one thing we
Um,
didn't mention is I did. I'm not here to tell you. No matter what I say, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do.
yeah,
It's
that's your
just my opinion
freedom.
on how I view it.
It's your freedom to choose. I'm not gonna hate you for what you choose or what you claim to be. Um,
My only comment
but
is I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is just share my opinion with the world, and you sit and think about what you're doing, and you choose to do what you do, and that's on you from the rest. I'm just here to spread love and spread open mindedness.
but we we yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
man, we covered that's a touchy topic. Drop comments below,
it,
man.
yeah. Comment below, say what you think. I mean, we're not trying to hate, but if you roast us in the comments section, be ready to get roasted back.
Yeah, I mean, we're just
Um,
realists.
yeah,
Put it.
we're giving our opinion, and we're not gonna censor ourselves on anything because we're just trying to keep it real.
And
And
if you do want to schedule a Skype session with me and James, we'll get you on here and we can all three chop it up. Whether you're binary, whether you're non-binary, whether you're gay, whether you're whatever, it's
yeah,
just gonna be
we'd love
opinion
to
based.
have a conversation about it, and just to put it out there because maybe you can
Get your
tell us
story out
something or
there.
tell the people out there a way to better understand you and maybe people like you
Hmm.
and maybe that'll help all of us.
Yeah. And if y'all ever want to schedule anything, the email will be in the description. Everything you need to know is in the description. It's thedailyvibe19@gmail.com. You can send support, whatever, if it helps you, if you do enjoy the podcast, if you want to schedule something, that's where it's at. But yeah, I mean, it's other than that, man, just leave y'all's comments. Let's just whatever, good or bad, if you're against it, for it.
Yeah,
It's
leave your opinion,
yeah,
but we appreciate you, and this is a good second episode, and
yeah, man. I look forward to the
we'll
next
be
one.
back next week for another one. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy, man, and subscribe, leave some comments, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
We're out.